It has been 5.5 years since Subterror was considered a top tier deck in Duel Links. For reference, the last time this deck was considered top tier, Fortune Lady had just won a KC Cup. Fortune Lady. So yeah, the game has changed quite a bit since Subterror was considered a competitive level archetype. So the question is, with all this brand new support and a brand new skill added to the game, is Subterror finally able to rise up and compete in the modern era? Let's find out. So here's today's deck list. Now just a reminder before getting to the deck list, if you guys are enjoying today's video and want to see some more deck lists just like this one or more videos from me in the future, please remember to leave a like and consider subscribing to the channel down below. Alright, let's jump into this list. So it's been a while since Subterror was seen amongst the decks on the ranked ladder, so let me give you a real brief rundown on what all the cards in the archetype do. Starting off with Behemoth. This thing can be special summoned from your hand when a face-up monster on your field is flipped face down. But keep in mind, this is a when effect, so if you find you're not able to summon this thing from your hand and you're really confused, it's not a bug, it's just really stupid wording on this card. Basically, when a chain resolves, the monster being flipped face down has to be the very last thing that resolves, otherwise, this dude won't be summoned from your hand. It's really dumb because it also means with your trap card, because this trap card sets itself back on the field, that's the last thing that happens, so it doesn't even work with your own trap card. This archetype's a little bit silly sometimes, but whatever. Then this card when it's on the field when it's flipped face up can banish one monster on the field. Pretty simple. Alright, this card when it's on the field when it's flipped face up can search for a Subterror card from your deck, add it to your hand. Also, if you have another face up Subterror monster, as a quick effect, you can target one monster your opponent controls, flip this face down, and that monster face down as well. Alright, then we have your Fiendess. This is a Omni-Negate hand trap, so if your opponent activates any effect by flipping a Subterror monster on your field face down, you can discard this, negate the effect. Also, this thing can be normal summoned, when this thing's on the field, you can target a monster on your field, flip it face down to special summon a Subterror from your hand or from your graveyard. Then we have your Ultra blah blah Behemoth dude. Did I call this Behemoth as well? Behemoth Umastrix and your Behemoth Ultra Murphus, whatever the hell this thing is. This thing's basically the exact same as this, except instead of banishing a monster on the field, it flips everything on the field face down. I'm basically only playing this because Lyrilisk exists, and this thing is really good against Lyrilisk. It's good against other stuff too, because obviously flipping stuff face down means your opponent can't synchro summon and stuff, but obviously, in a more fusion meta when there's hero going around, it's not that great flipping stuff face down, it's better to banish it, but sometimes this card is needed. Alright, then we have your Field Spell. This thing when activated can add a Subterror monster from your deck to your hand, it can target a monster on your field, flip it face up, and if your opponent tries to battle into your field, you can flip a Subterror monster face up to negate the attack. Alright, and finally we have your Subterror Final Battle. This thing when it activates sets itself back on the field instead of going to the graveyard, and has 3 effects. You can change one set Subterror monster on the field to face up attack or face down defense position. Change one face up monster on the field to, you can either flip it face up or face down with the trap card. Attack and defense of Subterror monsters on the field become equal to the combined original attack and defense until the end of this turn. This turn, its activated effects of Subterror cards cannot be negated. So a bunch of effects, but you can only use one of them per turn, and keep in mind, this doesn't go to the graveyard, it just resets itself. Technically, Subterror does also have a Link monster, but I've never summoned this thing, and I doubt you will either, so feel free to read this on your own time. Then we have the skill, Nemesis of the Underground Terrors. Alright, this skill allows you to reveal a level 4 Subterror monster from your hand to set one Hidden City or Subterror Final Battle from your hand or deck to the field. It can be activated on that turn. If you set it from your hand, you also get to draw one card. Then, if only your opponent controls a monster, you can play one level 5 or higher Subterror monster from your hand or deck in face down defense position. Its battle position can be changed. So keep that in mind. If your opponent has a monster on the field, you probably want to set the card from your hand, because that way you get a bonus summon straight out of your deck of a giant behemoth that can banish something or flip your opponent's entire field face down. So, a very powerful skill, does have a bit more restrictions compared to some of the other skills in the game currently, but still, basically does everything you want Subterror to do. As for the rest of the list, it's basically just tech cards and random ass extra deck monsters that's all replaceable. If you don't own some of the tech cards in here, like I know this Sol and Luna is a selection box only card right now, so a lot of you might not have this. Don't worry, you don't need to play this whatsoever. I'm just playing it because it does have a lot of synergy with this deck, and I've never really used this card before, so I wanted to give it a go. But if you don't own this, just play something else. You can play Book of Moons, Effect Veilers, whatever you feel like. I'm also playing Terrors. You don't need to play Terrors. If you want to play some other trap card instead, or just play, again, Effect Veilers or something, go right ahead. It's just sort of stuff that I wanted to try out, because these are cards that recently either got unbanned, or are brand new cards I've never used anywhere else, so I wanted to give them a go. And they have a lot of synergy with this art type, so yeah, that's basically it for the deck list. Let's check out some gameplay. So I've got 5 replays to share with you guys. Normally I would have saved some more, but this deck's on the more slow, grindy sort of side of things, meaning the replays do take quite a while to get through, so I only saved 5 of them, but don't worry, from these replays you'll definitely get a good understanding of just how this deck list functions, and some of the sort of combos you can do with it. Alright, so this deck, it's definitely on the more harder side of things, just typically because it's a control deck, and typically control decks are harder. There's a lot of just worrying about when to use disruptions and using them at the right times and managing your resources, that kind of thing. It doesn't help all the when and fucking stupid effects of your Subterrors in this deck as well that screw you over. So I would say it's one of the more harder sort of decks, but it's definitely a very rewarding deck to play. It's a very fun deck to play. Just might take a little bit to sort of navigate your way through some of the stuff. Alright, so Hidden City searching for a card, grabbing the hand trap. Hidden City can flip the Guru, Guru searching for the Umastrix, and passing the turn. Alright, so I'm going to be very conservative with my resources. We don't have that much disruption here, so I'm trying to conserve stuff as much as I can. He's going to eventually put that dude on the field that I want to flip face down. Here he is. So I want to flip this face down, so I have 2 choices. I could use the Sol and Luna here, which can flip it face down, or I can use the effect of this, flip this face up, then I technically have a Subterror monster or Subterror card on the field, meaning this card can use its quick effect to flip it face down as well. So I could use either of those methods. It's a bit of a weird combo with these two. Another thing you might want to remember, this thing does need a Subterror monster on the field, or Subterror card on the field, in order to use its effect as a quick effect. So if you activate this thing, you can chain this to it. Keep that in mind. But I wanted to save the trap card here, so I just used the Sol and Luna instead. Summoning this card because this is flipped face down. Alright, he's going to flip this face up, try to swing in. I can potentially negate the attack. I don't know why he bothered negating it, because it just meant it was going to change. I was just negating an attack, but anyway, I guess I was going to flip this, I guess. Anyway, use the Subterror Final Bow to flip the Guru. Guru search from my deck. And flip this face down as well. Alright, Umastrix. Summoning this from my hand, flipping this face up, banishing a card on the field. And yeah, he's got a 0 attack monster on field, so I could just swing into it with any of these, boost the attack of them, make their attacks, the attack and defense equal each other, so just, or add them together I mean. So this could be like 4,700 attack monster, swing in and instantly kill him, so I think he just concedes in a moment. Yeah, the trap card boost is deceptively large. I think a lot of people forget just how big this trap card can make your Subterrors, because their stat lines, their attack and defense, is already really high. The 2 big Subterrors I have, the 3,000 attack one and 1,800 defense one, so that's what, 4,800 attack? It's kind of crazy. Even the smaller Subterror is not the hand trap one, but the level 4, the Guru. He goes up to like 30 something? I can't remember what his defense is, but it goes over 3k. So... Alright, up against Domain of the Gladiator Beast, who is playing Tri-Brigade Gladiator Beast, so a bit of a base player here. Alright, so Guru gonna go in my final battle once again. Alright, this time I'm showing you a different end field. This end field is technically like the strongest end field you can make, but keep in mind, it's very weak to hand traps, because Guru, if your opponent tries to hand trap it with an effect veiler, you can chain your trap card, flip it face down, and dodge the effect veiler. You can't do that with this card, because it needs its own effect to flip the card face down in order to special summon the cards from hand, so it's weak to hand traps, so keep that in mind. Alright, flips itself face down, summoning the Guru, summons the Umastrix, and then flips itself face down. Honestly, I shouldn't have flipped this face down, I should have kept them both face up, just so I had an extra Subterror on field, so I can use this thing as a quick effect whenever I wanted to, rather than relying on trying to chain it to a trap card or something. Yeah, I shouldn't have kept this face down, this should be face up. Alright. Gladiator Beast rejection, don't really care, sure. Oh, this is another matchup, because I'm pretty sure this thing stops targeting, right? Or something. This might have been another matchup where I should have grabbed the other Subterror monster, the flipping face down one. So I'm pretty sure this stuff actually can't be targeted if he had gladiator-based monsters. Crass gonna be banishing, perfect time to negate, because if you negate, it banishes for cost, so he loses all his monsters. Alright, final battle, we're flipping up to banishing. But I basically wasted a disruption there, because I could have, instead of negating, I could have just flipped a card face down by just having that, by both of them face up, rather than having to use the behemoth effect there. Alright, so then we have the last three. Going up against Hero first. Hero is not a good matchup for this deck. Going first, if you don't open like a really, really big hand, like in that last replay I just showed you, you cannot get away with sort of the hand you saw in that first replay, because your opponent is just going to super poly your Guru and you're donezo. They wait till battle phase, swing into it, when as soon as it's face up, they super poly you and you lose the game, because you can't negate it, because, yeah, super poly can't be responded to. Going second, you're fine, and also going first, if you set up a massive field like I did in that last replay, you might be able to be okay, but going first, if you're not opening absolutely giga, you're gonna struggle. Alright. So here, because thankfully we actually opened the trap card in hand, we can put the behemoth on the field and set the trap card, which is fantastic, because we can automatically just force out some disruption already. Alright, so Umastrix, flip him face up, targeting his hero. He's going to use the Super Poly straight away. Discarding a Kiteroid. Bring out a Gaia. Drawing a couple of cards as well. Alright, flipping this face up, Guru's searching. Now we have an Omni Negate whenever we need to for potentially the end of the back row here, because we've got a monster face up. Alright, Guru going to be flipping his stuff face down to summon my dude from hand. Final battle, gonna be flipping it to swing in, Book of Moon flip face down. I'm not sure if I played that perfectly here, but we've ended on a lot of resources, so good enough. Alright, does have an MST for the final battle, but that's fine. Does give me an opportunity to flip something face up so I can have my Omni Negate ready. Alright, tries to use this, I'm gonna Terrors of the Overroot, giving him a useless Kiteroid in exchange for that. He does Polymerization out a wind monster with it, but I don't care about Tornado. He can have that if he wants it. Oh yeah, he swings in here. I don't know why the field spell didn't let me change here. I think I must have toggled off by accident or something. Because the field spell, normally when they swing in, you can negate the attack by flipping a Subterror face up. Maybe I missed something here, but I thought I was going to negate the attack there. I think I might have to toggle off, otherwise I misplayed or something. Still don't quite know what happened there. So normally you negate attacks by flipping Subterrors. Anyway, Solemn Learning will be flipping. I actually cleared up my zones anyway, so I could summon this dude back from the graveyard, so whatever. Tries to swing in, we got a negate in hand, so he is dead. Alright. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. I'm pretty sure I should have been able to negate that in attack, because I had a Subterror face down to change its battle position. Maybe I'm forgetting something, or whatever. Anyway. Up against Dino. So Dino, I have one card I want to negate, and only one card. Because otherwise, they can chain it to any of their effects, make their stuff immune for the turn, and I just wasted my negate. So I'm not negating anything that isn't Misk. Specifically, Misk discard from hand. Don't want to negate anything else. And just in case they have it in hand, chain it, and I've just ruined myself. So Hidden City, searching the Behemoth. We have a pretty giga hand right now, so we can normal summon this guy. Flip face down, summon the dude, set the dude, set the dude. And this time I think, yeah, I did it correctly. I left this thing face up. So I have a flip face down from this card's effect. I have a Omni Negate that can flip this face down. When this is face down, I can then use the Subterror Final Battle, flip this face up to banish a card. We have the Sullen Luna as well, and we have the bit of protection from the Hidden City if your opponent tries to swing into your cards. Alright. So not going to use any negates here, literally only using it on Misk. Misk is all I care about. There's the Misk, we negate. Guru's always going to be chaining to flip this face down so he can't go into the Link 1, because I'm pretty sure we saw him search for the spell card. So basically if he can't get the Link 1 on the field, or a non-Dino in the graveyard basically, he can't use the spell card. So I'm just going to try to be really annoying. Going to banish the egg as well. In hindsight, probably should have banished this card because I forgot what the skill does, but we still had a Soul and Lunar anyway. Because he used the skill to change this into a dinosaur, meaning he can pop it, but he just concedes. But even if he did pop it, I still had the Soul and Lunar, so I was still pretty safe, I think. But yeah, I should have in hindsight remembered the skill can do that. Alright, final replay against a Predaplant, where I misplayed a bunch because I was down to 30 seconds or some stupidly low number on my timer. As is with Duel Links quite often, considering the timer is just pathetically short. Alright. Yeah, I definitely misplayed a bunch just because the timer got so goddamn low. I just had to turn off toggle and let him beat over my stuff at one point, I'm pretty sure. Anyway, so against this deck, pretty similar to the hero matchup actually. You don't want to leave things face up, because otherwise they get super polyed. Or in this case, they get tributed. So they get place a token on it and tribute it. So you don't want to leave things face up typically. Which means the hand trap, I don't think I even bother searching for the hand trap here. I think I just try to put everything face down and forget to put Slang face down. Yeah, so here I misplay a little bit. So I didn't bother searching for the hand trap because I planned to put everything face down, but then I used this thing's effect instead of using this guy's effect, which would have put them both face down, and I leave this guy face up by accident. So a slight misplay there, these both should have been face down. Well, the important one is this card being face down anyway. If he wants to tribute this one, at least I've still got my Behemoth. And thankfully this guy decides not to do it for a while anyway. He also Nightmare Phoenixed Hidden City for some reason. Maybe I should use this. Maybe I should have expected the Nightmare Phoenix and used one of my disruptions earlier, but I didn't expect him to actually be summoning this. I don't know why. But he targeted a weird card anyway, rather than just hitting one of the two back row cards, which would have been massive for him. I don't know what he's worried about with this card. But anyway. Polymerization, making this dude. We, of course, don't like this. We're going to try and remove it. Using the final battle to potentially banish it. This guy has Saravis? One of the weird situations where having the non-target flip everything face down technically would have been better. So I'm going to have to just flip this face down now anyway. Alright. And then apparently that ends his turn, which is weird. I think Predaplant can normally play a bit more than this, but whatever. I still had a Soul and Lunar at least, so I was probably still not going to die this turn. Alright, I think at this point I had very low timer, so any misplays here, just blame it on the timer. I had like 20 seconds to think, so... I Fate Veiler, I'm going to flip this face down just to dodge the Veiler. Alright, summoning out, final battle, flip face up, swinging in, he has Hydra. So I'm forced to negate this, still have a negate in hand though, and technically this thing can negate from field as well, so this is also not just the hand trap. Oh yeah, he just went straight to battle phase here. I had like 10 seconds, so I just didn't do anything, just banked up time. Could have obviously removed that with the trap card or something, but whatever. Another Veiler? Alright, gonna flip face down once again, flip this face up, search a card, I can then use this to flip this face up, I have an Omni negate in hand still, swinging in. Don't care about the attack reduction, I'm gonna pass the turn. And you sort of see, like, I know I'm misplaying a bunch here because my time is low, but you can sort of see just how much generating of resources I'm doing. I'm just always grabbing these Phoenixes out of the deck list so I can always have Omni negates. I can normal summon the Phoenixes, then flip them to bring stuff back from graveyard. This dude just flipping every single turn, once on my turn, once on the opponent's turn, is just gaining massive amounts of card advantage. Even if I lose something like Final Battle, this dude can just search for another one, so... You can see just sort of how controlly and grindy this deck can be. Which is sort of the main appeal of it, I think. I think people are going to love this sort of style of deck. Even if it isn't necessarily the best deck in the game, it's a lot of fun to play. Alright, once again, flipping this face down. This card isn't actually, you notice the trap card isn't actually once per turn in terms of, it's not a hard once per turn. So if you have two final battles, you can just use both final battles. So I used one, flip this face down, I can use the other to flip it back up, and flip everything face down. But I think he just, conceded, which was a good thing, because I think I had like 2 seconds left on my timer and nearly timed out. Alright guys, that's going to do it for today's replays. Hope you guys enjoyed them. If you did, remember to leave a like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. I'm not sure what next videos I'm going to do on the latest box. There's still other stuff I want to do, especially around IP. Things like trying out some Orca stuff. I know Springens turns out it's a pretty good deck, and I do have the cards for it, so maybe I'll give Springens a go. I don't know, there's also the Tin Dangle stuff, but I don't think I'm going to touch that. That does not seem fun at all, but we'll see. I should have other videos planned around all the latest stuff coming out. Also, might do some streams using the latest cards as well. Maybe run a little tournament or something for you guys, so look forward to that. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you see the next one. Laters.
Hey, big brother, can I watch SpongeBob?
Shut up, Mokuba. I'm busy flagging YouTube videos to compensate for the fact that I have an extremely small penis.
Oh.